COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
Either that it was accidentally released by the Wuhan Institute of Virology, or that it appeared naturally in that market in Wuhan.
Totally under control. It's one person coming in from China, and it's going to be just fine.
The Dow collapsing around 1,900 points today. Its worst single-day loss ever as an oil price war.
The coronavirus recession is official.
We are dealing with a challenge and a crisis that we have never seen in our lifetimes. So I regret to have to announce that as of tomorrow, our public schools will be closed.
The White House expanded its travel ban from European nations, adding Britain and Ireland to a list that now includes 28 nations.
Restaurant closes at 8 o'clock. Theaters closing at 8 o'clock tonight until further notice.
Barring some sort of miracle, the U.S. death toll is going to hit 50,000 by this weekend. Easy. But I don't know if the president knows that.
But that's one of the pleas that we make to the younger people. Don't think that you're exempt. Everybody's got to pitch in. Everybody.
I'm speaking to you at what I know is an increasingly challenging time. It reminds me of the very first broadcast I made in 1940.
Depression in teens is something that needs to be taken seriously at all times, but it became more intense at the start of COVID-19 as many children were finding it difficult to properly deal with the isolation.
Tension around whether to wear masks in public has been building.
I work for Costco and I'm asking this member to put on a mask because that is our company policy. So either wear the mask...
And I'm not doing it, so I woke up in a free country.
The notion that drinking more water will flush coronavirus from your system is one of several myths about the virus circulating on social media.
This is a pandemic. I felt it was a pandemic long before it was called a pandemic. All you had to do is look at other countries.
Experts from Harvard and Yale say the United States needs about 20 million tests per day to safely reopen the economy.
End the shutdown now! End the shutdown now!
6 in 10 teenagers polled nationwide say they've experienced loneliness during the pandemic.
This week we hit 100,000 deaths in the U.S. from coronavirus.
But when we have a lot of cases, I don't look at that as a bad thing. I look at that as, in a certain respect, as being a good thing because it means our testing is much better. I view it as a badge of honor.
Has plunged into chaos as protests against police brutality and the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. You can't forget that we are still in the midst of this pandemic, Anne-Marie. It continues to grip the country. The recent deaths of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, they're all fueling massive demonstrations nationwide. Protesters and activists are demanding justice for Black Americans that have been recently killed by police.
report spending 3/4 of their waking hours on screens for everything from education to entertainment.
You think that macho white males might have difficulty putting on a mask. People who are highly frightened about getting infected are also very frightened about being around strangers. Some people
Native Americans have been experiencing disproportionately high rates of infection and death from COVID-19.
It's time to open up. The sick are being taken care of. If you're sick, stay home and in your house. The ones that can work need to work.
133 potential vaccines are now in various stages of development around the world.
Essentially, we need a way to make everybody able to go out, and masks are a key part of that.
Early testing suggests 1 in 5 New Yorkers has antibodies for COVID-19.
Inside the arm of every COVID-19 survivor are the antibodies that will lead us to a treatment.
Virginia has become the first local jurisdiction to release antibody test results.
Antibodies have been making headlines for weeks, but there's still a lot we don't know about them.